Yo everyone, welcome back to Satisfactory. Today we're starting a brand new save in Update 7, and I'm very excited because I haven't done a new save in quite a while. Update 7 just literally dropped in the experimental branch. It's been a little bit buggy, but I'm excited to give it a shot. I will be live streaming the behind the scenes of these episodes, so if you want to stop by the stream sometime, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll love to see you in the next stream. So let's go ahead and get this save going. Enjoy! And here we are, a crisp new morning on Massage 2 ABB, and nothing but the wilderness ahead of us. And before we start our journey to find where we're going to put our home base, I'm going to show you where we're going to put our home base. So here we got on the map, I'm going to show you over here in the Titan Forest is where we're going to put our home base, next to this little patch of water here. I chose this spot for a few reasons, one being the good amount of pure iron, pure copper, and pure limestone, the proximity to a bunch of coal over here for steel and coal power, but also it's someplace different. It's in the Titan Forest, and kind of like the central place of the map. It's not a place I usually build a base, so I wanted to give it a try, because this area is really cool with those really tall trees and whatnot. If you guys wanted to see my favorite other places for building a starter base, I've got a video on that, so I'll put a card in the upper right if you wanted to check that out. So I think we've spawned a little bit up here, so we've got about a 2-kilometer journey ahead of us, and I'm sure we're going to encounter a bunch of fauna along the way, so we'll have to take care of that, but let's get going. All right, let's go. And we're going to make sure we collect as much biomass along the way. We know we have to go roughly, oh wait, I'm going the wrong way, southeast. Hello, how are you? Come back here.
First blood.
Oh, come on, come back here. First kills. Hey, doggo. And here's one of my favorite northern forest areas for a base, but we're not building here today. And before I pass it up, I know there's a hard drive up here because I've been in this area quite a bit before. And yes, there's lots of hogs here too. What does this need? 30 megawatts? I'm not going to worry about that hard drive right now, but I am going to grab these frames, these heat sinks, of course. Ow. Ooh, some circuit boards. I will let you two live for now. I will be back though. I probably should pick up some berries and stuff. Oh my god. What were you doing there, hog? But, alright, I will connect back with you guys. Oh god, there's some spitters. I will connect back with you guys when we get to the Titan Forest. And as you can see, we finally made it to our new home. There's tons of hogs up here that we're going to have to dispatch of, but we have plenty of resources. Oh god, there's a spitter. But yeah, we have plenty of resources and a very picturesque nighttime, I must say. Oh, we managed to find another friend. Oh, he's killing the hogs for me. All right, I'm going to finish clearing up these things and let's get our HQ built. So here's where we decided to put our HQ, right next to the water. I also cleared out a bunch of biomass and whatnot. We still have this spitter to take care of, but most of the hogs are taken care of. We picked up a bunch of biomass, so we're ready to get factory going and deal with you. Oh yes, we'll deal with you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take care of this thing, because Ada continually talking into our ear is going to get annoying real quick.
You are so lucky that you found this most valuable artifact.
Like that. So the first thing I want to do, we'll get a small limestone setup going, so we have concrete and copper since it's right here. Our 2 iron nodes are just over that ridge, so a little bit of a walk, but not too far away. So obviously the first thing we want to do is get our miner here. So we're just going to put this right there. Throw a simple constructor in front of it. I'm going to hook up the belts. And then just a simple storage. So with limestone ready to go, I was going to set up copper, but with him sitting there, I don't feel like fighting him right now because I've done enough fighting for today. So we're going to go set up the iron nodes. So here's our 2 iron nodes, with our base being right over there. You can kind of see it in the distance. So we're going to go ahead and get one of these nodes set up for plates and one of the nodes set up for iron rods. And we'll just kind of repeat the same process we did for the limestone. And here's our new iron setup. A little bit of a mess right now, but everything's hooked up. We have a constructor for plates, constructor from rods. And yeah, it's ready to go. Power lines ran. I made a change to our limestone setup, just rotated it 90 degrees to make the storage bin a little bit easier to access. Last but not least, let's power up our biomass generators and get this factory going. And now we've got concrete being made and rods and plates. Now that those are set up, before we set up copper production, I might do a mass biomass collection. I like having a big collection of biomass early game, just so I don't have to worry about, you know, filling up the biomass burners, going to get more, making biomass, and kind of repeating that process. So as long as you have a big stockpile of your own, then you really don't have to worry about it. So I did a bunch of running around collecting biomass, and we've amassed quite a bit of it. This should be enough to hold us off for a little bit. And we need to replace what we got in these, because I think they shut off, yeah. While I was gone, they'd make that dreaded noise. Let's get this turned back on. So our next task is definitely getting copper set up. But we have one thing to take care of before we do that. Him. Even though he's over there, he likes to venture over here and guard my copper. So I believe, friend, it's your time to die. Alright, let's do this. Yes! Alright, with that problem out of the way, we can build our copper setup. And there we go. Our very simple copper setup. The only thing left is connecting the power grid so we get some copper wire going. God damn it. I knew that was going to happen. So I went ahead and added one more biomass burner back here, which we'll go ahead and top these off. Which gives us a little bit of headroom here for our production. Added a few more power lines as well, one across for the copper. Then obviously we've got the iron going over there. So with our production going, I want to try and make a push to get this base building milestone done. We've almost got enough resources for it, but really just got to kind of wait for our production buildings to build enough resources so we can get this done. Alright, so we just got done with a bunch of handcrafting and whatnot. And if you wanted to come see that handcrafting live, I do, like I mentioned before, stream these on YouTube. So you can go watch the behind the scenes and we can have fun while I'm sitting here at the crafting bench. But anyways, as you can see, we've got enough resources to get the base building milestones. So let's go ahead and knock this first one out. Okay, first milestone done. And actually, I think we have the resources to knock out the logistics milestone as well, which it looks like we do. So we can get some splitters, mergers, and a conveyor lift, which proved quite useful when we go to expand our base. So let's go ahead and push the big red button. And now we've got mergers and splitters. Okay, so while we're waiting for that pod to return, let's see. What's our next milestone here? Field research. So we need a bunch of copper wire, some screws, and some iron plates. And actually that unlocks the map. I forgot the map was this early on now. That's extremely helpful. Scanner and the M.A.M, so we'll go ahead and select that milestone. We might have to do some handcrafting and whatnots to, well, actually we will have to do some handcrafting for the screws. So we'll go ahead and knock that out. Okay, so we just got done with a bunch of handcrafting, so I think once we select it, we should have what we need to get field research done. And that we do. In a short amount of time, we actually knocked out a bunch of, actually we knocked out all of tier 1 here. And Ada is still being very confused, which is kind of funny. So we got the M.A.M finally, so we can get some other things unlocked, as well as the map. So let's go ahead and see where we've all gone so far, which is not too far. You can kind of see where we spawned in up here in our little journey to get over here to this area. It's interesting that it shows some of the swamp. I wonder why that is. But anyways, here we are on the map. And now that we got the M.A.M too, let's go ahead and plop one on. Oh, we have to do some handcrafting, and we need more screws. How many is it? It's 5. Do we have exactly enough screws for it? We do. Cool. Go ahead and get these knocked out. That'll be nice once these are automated. Cool. Okay. So we'll go ahead and place down our M.A.M over here. Let's see. So we know we can probably, so yeah, we can probably knock out a few of this basic stuff just to kind of get
New object added to the object scan.
Go unlock that. Neat. What else can we do? We could probably do some alien organisms. I probably have some stowed away over here, don't I? Yes, I do. I think the rebar gun is down this route, or down this tree as well. Oh yeah, right there. So we could probably get pretty far in here. So let's go ahead and do the stinger.
New recipe unlocked.
That one too. And then with this one, yeah, we need 5 of the little meat packs. So we can go ahead and handcraft some of those So I spent a bunch of time handcrafting and whatnot, and we got all the way down to the rebar gun. We also kind of, oops, got that unlocked. We have overclocking unlocked, or gonna have overclocking unlocked. We got obviously the first power shard recipe. Did a little bit of quartz with what we had on hand, and kind of started the sulfur tree as well. So a lot of that unlocked. I want to take a look at our next milestone, which I wouldn't. Oh, actually, we can go ahead and knock this out. The resource sync bonus program. We obviously want the awesome shop, so we can unlock a lot of those really cool buildables that I like to do for decoration and whatnot, and obviously the color cartridges for painting. So yeah, I think we can just go ahead and get that milestone done as well. All right.
Milestone reached.
We've got our resource sync, awesome shop,
the anti-waste effort for stress testing of materials
and
on
we can color things. Heck yeah! I don't know if I'll change the base color yet, but
depending on their amount
yeah.
and complexity,
Since we unlocked that milestone, I went ahead and set up this small little resource sync area here. I'm trying to talk here, present. So yeah, we can start throwing in some of the more valuable stuff we found in our journey into here and get some tickets and start getting some decorative stuff. So I went a little ham with dropping resources into the sink, and I ended up with roughly about 31 coupons. So I went ahead and already purchased a few things like conveyor lift floor holes. Yeah, that's how you say that. The wall power outlets. None of the real foundation stuff yet. Basic gates for doors, windows, door walls, stuff like that. Obviously the concrete pillars, row barriers, modern railings, metal pillars, and the factory ladder. I actually wanted these to actually mix, kind of decorating, and opens up a lot of different possibilities for building right away. So I wanted those pretty early on. And regular concrete foundations and asphalt foundations. And then it all came out to 31 coupons. So we got all that kind of taken care of, and we've got it all ready to be built. I think the next item on the list is I want to go find Caterium. So I haven't actually found it, and I think that's this unknown metal tree in the M.A.M. So I think we need to go on a journey for some Caterium, which I don't think we can even scan for it yet. No, we cannot. Which I guess it's going to scan for quartz instead. But I guess we'll go on a little bit of an adventure and go see if we can find some Caterium. Funnily enough, there's actually some Caterium not too far away from the main base. You can take a look right over here. You can kind of see the iron miners there in the distance. So there's some Caterium not too far. I went ahead and grabbed some of it. So we need to head back over to the M.A.M. and we can probably start unlocking that tree. Okay, we've RTB'd. So let's see what all can we do here. I didn't grab too much. I only grabbed like 88, a stack of 88. So we'll see how far this gets us. And then we'll go from there. So we can unlock the ingots. How many ingots from here do we need? 50? We have 28, so we can only do 9. So that's not going to get us that. We might have to go get more. But since we're over here, I might unlock a few other things in the M.A.M as well. Let's see. Oh, there's only one left there. I'm just going to shove this all in here for now. I'm going to go ahead and get overclocking unlocked with just one power shard. So we'll go over here. That's under power slugs, right? Okay. So go ahead and unlock overclocking. And underclocking, I guess, for that matter. We can actually do slug scanning as well. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Why not? Alright. So with that now unlocked, we did get all the way to Bladerunners, which, if anybody's played Satisfactory for any amount of time, Bladerunners are a savior. So we definitely want to see if we can get those. So I think our next adventure will be to go find some quartz. Alright, well, I found some quartz. And if anybody has been to this location, you know that there's actually a ton of quartz around here. We're actually just south of the Dune Desert. So if we go over here, you can actually see the Dune Desert off in the distance there. If I show up the map here, you can kind of see there's home. Here's the quartz. It's actually not that much of a trek, and it's actually pretty easy to get to. But I just placed down some of these miners here. Kind of inflated my pockets here a little bit. So let's just go ahead and grab some more off of these guys. Do I have enough to build a M.A.M on me? I do. So while we're here, let's go into the quartz. So we need some silica there, obviously. Or I did unlock the inflated pocket dimension already. I did that earlier, just kind of, yeah, it was fairly easy of a thing to unlock, so I went ahead and did it. So we need 10 modular frames and a little bit more silica on us. So we got that. Notice this we're probably not going to get to anytime soon. And we're going to need to handcraft some modular frames, so we'll have to head back to base for that. I'll go ahead and leave these here. I created a map marker. We'll be able to find it when we come back. We're going to head back home and see if there's a few other things we can kind of handcraft to unlock and then go from there. So I'll see you in a second. Alright, so we're back home. I created this little storage bin next to the awesome shop because without a foundation, I don't know really why I put that there, but I just put the quartz in there. The next thing I want to do is I definitely want to clear out some of this vegetation so I can start like actually building the base. So I can get some of these trees and whatnot out of the way. So I think we can probably get... Well, we're going to have to do some handcrafting. I want the chainsaw, obviously, so we can get rid of some of this vegetation. I want to redo this as well. So that's kind of the driving force of getting this vegetation cleared out. I want to kind of, you know, put some foundations down. And now we have splitters and whatnot to kind of optimize our concrete production a little bit. So we're back to handcrafting. All right, handcrafting's over. So let's unlock our chainsaw. Hell yeah. Alright, so now we need an equipment shop.
Milestone reached. Biofuel will ensure maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, you are now capable of removing foliage that consists primarily of wood. Additionally,
I want it there, but
inflated your pocket dimension.
There we go. Alright, chainsaw, what do we need? I need more screws. Alright. And through the power of editing, we now have enough. Alright, let's get ourselves a chainsaw. Okay. Put that in our second slot. Yes. Although it's really dark, so you can't quite see it as well. There we go. A little bit of lighting. Okay, so I have some biomass on me, but I'm going to need to handcraft some solid biomass to make this chainsaw work. So we'll grab some of our stack here. I don't need a ton. I'm just going to handcraft a little bit. But we'll start clearing the vegetation for our new limestone setup. Optimize our concrete, because we're going to need more, because I want to start making like an actual base. Yes, base. That's what we're going to call it. And no, not basing base. Alright, let's start shopping. Alright, I think that's enough space to reorganize our limestone. So yeah, I think we're going to do some foundations here, place that on a foundation as well, add some splitters, and we'll optimize the concrete. And here's the end result. We've got 3 constructors going into a storage unit. So this miner is pumping out 120 limestone per minute, and if we look at the recipe on the constructors, obviously it's 45. So you do 120 divided by 45, it's 2 2/3 essentially. So if we go and look at, I think, underclocked one of these, I didn't, I left it as 100%, but yeah, we could have underclocked one of them to 2/3, but to fully optimize it, but so we're gonna have some power fluctuations there, but that's all right for now. It's just basic setup just to get us a good amount of concrete for now. As part of this, I did have to add 1 additional biomass burner to account for the extra constructors, but that wasn't that big of a deal since we have a ton of biomass still. I also kind of went a little crazy and did the same thing with the copper setup. Added some more smelters, added constructors. We've also got cable being built now, so that's all automated based on the amount of copper wire coming out. This is not perfectly balanced or anything like that. It was just enough to process everything that was coming out of that miner. Yeah, and I also went full concrete in all foundations. I'm not a real fan of the metal ones, to be honest, but they can be useful for decoration purposes. But for anything platform related like this, I go with full concrete. We'd obviously like to do the same thing here to our iron lines. But the one thing I do want to get to first is getting that cast screw recipe. The recipe allows us to take iron ingots and turn them into screws, rather than go through the process of turning ingots into rods and then turning those rods into screws. So in order to do that, we're going to have to go on a hard drive hunt. I've picked out a few places that would be some pretty easy ones to get, and maybe along the way we'll get some extra materials, high value materials that we can sink to get a bunch of tickets. So let's go. Alright, through the power of editing, we're back home. I kind of forgot to take screenshots of the hard drives we got, but the two main ones I got, and funnily enough, the first one that we got was the cast screw recipe. So to kind of reiterate what that recipe is, I'll bring up screws here. You can see where we get ingots into screws. Getting that's going to enable us to make a lot more screws with a lot less materials, because everybody knows who's played Satisfactory, screws become a problem in like the mid to late game if you don't have enough. We also got a second hard drive for this recipe, as the other options weren't that great, so I went ahead and picked this one. I don't know if we'll use this one in the future, but we have it if we need it. In addition to that long journey, I picked up enough modular frames to get us to unlock Bladerunners, which are going to be very nice to have. Very, very nice. We also got the extra inflated pocket dimension, but I think I did that earlier, so I think let's go ahead and make ourselves some Bladerunners. I mean, go to fast boy mode. So we need 3 rotors. I don't know if I can even craft that yet. Let's see. Rotors. Nope, we can't yet. So we might have to do a milestone. So it looks like we're going to need the part assembly milestone to be able to unlock rotors. What do we need? Just a bunch of copper cable. Okay. Go over here to our new copper line. Go grab us some copper cable. Alright, Ada. I have some more parts for you. And boom! Now we should be able to handcraft
Milestone reached.
rotors.
More complex assembly of parts can now be automated. Project assembly parts can now be constructed and sent up via the space elevator.
I forgot to mention that, yeah, that what Ada said, it unlocks the space elevator parts, and we haven't built our space elevator yet. Well, for Bladerunners, we're good. Yes. It's very hard to survive without Bladerunners. Oops, legs. Yes, speedy boy. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get enough for the rebar gun. There we go. Now we can get a rebar gun. So just, yeah, come back over here. We got enough to get the yellow power shards. And then I went ahead and, where are they? Have they put them in here? Yeah, so I went ahead and converted all of our existing slugs into shards. We have 8 shards right now. So yeah, we're sitting pretty good. I'm gonna double check milestones here. Jump pads, I don't really need, so I'll kind of wait. Logistics Mark II, we're actually pretty close on that. I don't need it quite yet. Maybe I'll wait on this for a little bit. Because what I do want to do is start to get our base foundations laid. Bring the iron over here so we could, like, all the factories in one spot. And yeah, that will kind of constitute redoing the iron lines as well. So if we just get the base foundations down, then we can yeah, make a nice organized factory. I'm thinking of just putting it over this water here. I would like to keep the water, but kind of building around it's going to be a pain. So I'm thinking just do like we did with the resource sink over there and just kind of extend all the foundations around and kind of go from there. So you can see I kind of filled in this little area here with the water. I also deleted the hub and all that to kind of make room. And this was all kind of the stuff that was sitting inside the hub that I just shoved in here. The other thing I was talking about on stream as well is I really want to get more tickets or coupons for the Awesome Shop, because I would like to get some of the more decorative stuff, especially in the architecture thing, like the modern walkways, for instance. What else? Like the concrete walls, like more different types of walls. Actually, it's right here, kind of the concrete wall material. Because as you know, my build style, I like to use a lot of concrete, kind of mix in a little bit of steel here and there. But as I'm building my base, I definitely prefer concrete materials, so I would like to kind of get enough coupons to get that. So we need 3 for those. I want the walkway, so that's another 8. So we need at least 8 coupons. So we might go on an adventure, see if I can go to some more hard drives, and if there's more valuable stuff around that I can find. Alright, we're back home, and things might look a little bit different as well. I got the hub back down, but I'll kind of show you. I raised this base foundation floor a little bit. I didn't like how low it was and how little room it actually gave me once I started building. As you can see, I placed down 8 smelters, just kind of like a template to see how much space things take up, and I was like, it's not going to be enough room. So I raised it a little bit. I was kind of seeing how far out we could go from the edges, and then there's the copper line, obviously. Went on a little bit of adventure to get high value materials to unlock more decorative stuff. Got some power slugs. You can see we've fought some stingers, fought a bunch of hogs and whatnot. Also, I ended up getting 4 hard drives in the process. But you can see I actually went up here where I found Caterium, up into this area by the northern forest, and the crater lake's like right up here somewhere. Fun little jaunt. I got a bunch of Caterium. One important thing I did find is, if you've been watching the streams, I actually have a bunch of like ladders around this area because it's up on a plateau, right? During this little adventure, I actually found there's a little hidden passageway up here that I could just walk up. Yeah, it's right here. It's hidden this whole time, and I can walk up and down the plateau. And this will come in handy later because I believe that the coal is over here. Yeah, down here. So this will be eventually where our coal power plant goes. Oh yeah, there's 2 nodes right there. I think, yeah, there's one right there, and then there's another one right there. So it'll be definitely where our coal power plant goes. Having that passage is going to be useful, then I have to keep jumping down. And one thing I forgot to mention about raising this as well. If I come down here, this is actually raised a little bit than where it was as well, like the base down here, because I want to have a logistics floor where all the belts and everything run. Because I like hiding them a little bit, and kind of having the machines on their own floor up here. So that's why they get the foundations down here and these here. Yeah, it's just kind of a nice aesthetic thing. That's kind of something I always do with my builds. Alright, so I think we're getting close to the end of this first episode. I think what I'd like to do is get these 2 done, and then we can kind of call phase 1 complete, which I think would be kind of a good stopping point. So logistics mark 2 would be pretty easy. We just need some rods, so we can go grab some of those. And then for this, we'll need screws to handcraft some rotors. But yeah, if we're also going to knock out those milestones, maybe I should get the space elevator down as well. We'll have the materials for that. So let me go grab, we need concrete and rods. I guess we're going to need rods either way. So go over here and grab some concrete. So maybe I'll set up like a temporary assembler to make some smart plating. Alright, jump pads are unlocked. Hell yeah.
Milestone reached.
I don't really use
Several buildings
jump
and
pads very
the
often, but I should
traversal can now be accessed
use
in
them
the
more.
build menu. Caution is
Alright, I'm back with plates. We're waiting for the pod to come back. I'm just going to check this. We'll have 500 plates left over after that milestone. And how much does the space elevator take? Oh, just 250. Okay, so we're good. So let's go ahead and plop this guy down. And the animation is always so cool. Okay, got ourselves our space elevator. Turn the UI back on. Say we just need 50 smart plating for the first one. I'm just gonna throw down. Well, we need rotors. We're still waiting for the pod to come back, so we'll go ahead and I'm just gonna set up a little assembler just to start making smart plating. There's really no need to set up a dedicated line for that at this moment if it's only 50. I can kind of keep myself occupied until it makes enough. That should be enough. I didn't even pay attention how many I needed. So I'll just plop that here. Smart plating, it takes reinforced plates and rotors. So then, well, actually, wait. I don't think it takes plates. Okay, so it's about to come back. So we'll wait a second. We'll come back. Okay. So then select this milestone. And there we go. That's tier 1 and 2. Fully researched.
Milestone reached. Improve.
But yeah, so we'll go ahead and get that filled and going. And yeah, we'll keep ourselves occupied until we get 50 smart plating. Alright. So I've been kind of doing some bits and ends until we get enough. We're actually really close. I overclocked this to 250% just to kind of make things go quicker. And we're sitting close. This is gonna be nice once this is. It's gonna be nice when this is done, and then we can kind of. So we're just waiting for this to hit 50. I'm excited. So far, I would say picking this area was a good idea. It's very picturesque, and it's kind of a fun area to build. It's not the normal type of terrain that I would build a starter base on, but it's been fun because of this plateau and kind of going out and adventuring a little bit. It's kind of a nice central place. So I think this was a nice place to pick. And then, boom, we got our 50. So go ahead and turn the machine off. Let's go ahead and just grab all the materials that are in here. Yeah, I'll just turn that off. Alrighty. We ready to complete phase 1. Seal it up. And boom. This. Oh, that little bassy boom. I love it. Alrighty. Let's go check the hub. So now, if you see, we have tiers 3 and 4. And the all-important coal power, which are actually pretty close to unlocking, but I might save that for next episode as well. I think that'll be the goal of episode 2, is getting coal power up and running. But yeah, I think we'll end episode 1 here. I appreciate you guys kind of hanging out and watching this video. And obviously, like I said before, I do stream these now on YouTube and Twitch, so if you want to see me do these episodes live, you can come on over. And links for those are in the description. And I guess before we close out, we'll do kind of a cinematic base tour. So stick around for that, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.